I go to therapy. Does anyone go to therapy in here? Nice. A dude in therapy. Hell yeah, my man. You are in therapy. Okay, hell yeah. More dudes should go to therapy. It's fucking great. If anyone's not in therapy and they're thinking about going, I'll give you a little bit of advice. It's great. Did you guys know that if you make your therapist cry, you win therapy? Yeah, it's amazing, right? I hit her with the old emotional Uno reverse card. I was telling her something deep. She started crying. I grabbed the tissue box, handed it to her, and I was like, hey, sometimes it's okay to not be okay. And then I sent her a bill for $150. Yeah. She has not paid it, and I don't think she will, but that's fine. It's great, though. No, I go to therapy. I was a problem kid growing up. Do I have any problem kids in here? Former? Nice, hell yeah. Left the gay one, for sure, yeah. Stressing your parents out, probably. Or maybe they're cool. I hope they were. But no, I was stressing my parents out. I was a problem kid. My parents were divorced, okay? They got divorced when I was 5, and they hated talking to each other. But every time I fucked something up, they were like, I guess we got to go meet at an Applebee's and figure out what we're going to do with this kid, you know? And one year, I remember I got in so much trouble, they had to find something for me to do after school. So they figured out that I would go to Boy Scouts, okay? Except this was the late 90s. I didn't have the internet. I was too busy blowing shit up in the forest. I didn't know what Boy Scouts was, okay? And my parents dropped me off 45 minutes late to my first Boy Scout appointment. I don't know if that's what they're called. That's what I'm figuring out. Boy Scout appointment sounds right. And I don't know if you ever watched Planet Earth, where they show an animal that was bred in captivity that's released into the wild. That was me getting out of my mom's Volvo in the church parking lot, just stepping out am I in the right place? There's a group of kids off in the distance dressed like Hitler Youths, you know? Google Hitler Youth and Google Boy Scout uniform. It's the exact same thing, all right? Someone cooked there. You guys clutching pearls over that? That's wild. I walk up to who I think is the scoutmaster. He's the only guy that's 4 feet taller than all of us there, and everyone's doing the flag ceremony. You know, everyone. It's when you find out who the autistic kid is. All right, he's just way too into folding that flag. All right, and he was trying to fold it, and it slipped out of his hands, and it fell on the ground, and we all watched it in slow mo, just bounce in the dirt, and we all looked at our scoutmaster, and he just goes, "Well, we gotta burn it," and I was like, lighting stuff on fire is actually why I'm here. I'll do that. That was the first thing I did in Boy Scouts, was burned the American flag. I was like, this place rules, dude. This is rad. And then we went into the church, and I thought we were going to have a normal rest of the Boy Scout ceremony. Who was waiting for us? Every cop in my city that I grew up in, because apparently the scoutmaster and his teenage son were selling weed out of the back of the church, you guys. Yeah, and they did not go peacefully, okay? There was a high-speed chase involving a PT Cruiser, all right? You ever seen a car that looks like that hit a speed bump going 80 miles an hour? Looks like a hippo moving through water. Everyone inside just doing this. Parents were called, rightfully so. They came and picked us up. My mom and my dad are from that generation where you just don't talk about your problems, okay? So I got my mom's car, and she goes, well, that's Boy Scouts, and we just drove away, all right? Had no idea that's not what it was. She dropped me off at my dad's house. I walked inside, and he's like, hey, how was Boy Scouts? I'm like, how was Boy Scouts? It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. When can I go back, dude? The answer was never. And they never told me that that's not what Boy Scouts is. So I had this warped view of Boy Scouts my entire childhood. And all of my friends got to stay in their troop, okay? Mine was disbanded for illegal activity. And I was asking them weird questions all throughout elementary school. We'd be in the cafeteria, sit at the table, and I was like, hey, what country's flag did you guys burn this year? I was like, I really want to do Japan for what they did to my granddad. It's a World War II joke for the white guys in here. Nice. And they never told me that's not what Boy Scouts is. So years went by. Something happened in America, 9/11. You guys remember that? Legally, we can't forget, okay? 9/11 happened. I didn't know it was going to happen. I just faked sick from school that day because I wanted to jack off and watch The Price is Right, okay? Unfortunately, had to watch a very different version of Plinko that day, all right? Think about it, all right? So I'm sitting there in the living room having a good time. My mom is at work, and she's probably freaking out. She's like, this kid is just getting lifelong trauma. She comes home. We're watching the news together. She's trying to explain it to me, okay? And I don't know if you guys remember the newscast from that day, but they cut to the Middle East. Dan Rather's like, let's see what's going on in Afghanistan. And they showed everyone jumping up and down, celebrating, burning American flags. I sat up, and I was like, yo, when did Boy Scouts go international? I could have studied abroad this entire time. You guys, my name is Spencer Bland. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.